Things you can do with a Boss GT-1. We're going to talk about the BPM tap delay function, which I found out on accident on the GT-1, which I knew you could do on the GT-100, but I wasn't sure if you could, if at all, do it on the GT-1. But I figured out how, and I don't remember how, but I'm going to get into detail with you right now. Here we go. We're going to zoom into the window. This is one of my patches. And what you're going to do, first of all, go into Memory Edit, and you're going to select, you're going to move over to Control 1. Hit Enter and assign Control 1 to BPM tap. Now, when this happens, your Control 1 button is going to flash. Let's exit out of that to the main chain. Go over to Delay. Let's turn it on. Enter, and for this demonstration, we're going to turn the feedback off. Effects level up to 100% so that you can hear the precise delay slap. And all the way over under time, you're going to take your scroll knob number 1, and you're going to go all the way over to the right. This is probably why I didn't figure it out at first, because it goes really slow. Turning it a lot of times to get all the way over there, and it's hidden. If you don't know about it, you're never going to find it. So after 2000 milliseconds is your BPM times. And then I will explain what those do. Yeah, this takes a second. At least on mine it does anyway. So we're almost at 2000. Here we go. 2000 milliseconds. After 2000 milliseconds, then you have options of 16th note, 8th note triplet, dotted 16th note, 8th note, quarter note triplet, dotted 8th note, quarter note, half note triplet, dotted quarter note, half note, whole note triplet, dotted half note, and whole note. So I'm not going to go through all of those, but let's just do some of them. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but my the control button is flashing. That is going to flash your quarter note tempo. So if my quarter note is there, bop, 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 this is going to give me a 16th note in that tempo. Instead of having to punch in there on your control, this is a much easier way to do that. So let's go down to, this is 8th note triplet. That gives you one of the triplets. Dotted 16th note. You get the idea of this? 8th note. Dotted 8th note. Dotted 8th note is one of my favorites, so we're going to come back to that. So your quarter note. Now you can't see what I'm playing, but I'm only playing the first note. The second note is the delay time. That's your tempo, quarter note. That's what your Control 1 button is flashing. Whole note, half note triplet. Nobody really goes down there much that I can tell. What I normally use is the dotted 8th note. So if you can hear my quarter note, bop, 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 bop. One and a 2, so it's the third 16th note of your 4 16th note groupings in the first quarter note. Got that? There's going to be a test on this later. Just kidding. This is very popular tempo time delay setting for, let's say, Nuno Betancourt's Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee, or some of the early Pat Travers stuff, or some of the early David Gilmour stuff. And if I were to play constant quarter notes, you would get this doubling 16th note effect because of the way the dotted 8th note falls within the 16th note grouping. Got it? And my quarter note is here, right? If I want to change that, I tap on the Control 1 button. Let's say we want to go slower. Bop, bop. Here's your new tempo. This is going to give you dotted 8th notes in that slower tempo. Let's go a little faster again. Bop, bop, bop. That's not right. Bop, 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 bop. It's cheating. It makes you sound faster than you actually are. That's how you work the BPM function on the Boss GT-1. Now, for certain effects, to give it a more prominent double picking sound, I mean, you could leave it here. Let's see, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to turn the feedback up a bit and bring the effects level down. Go back to my quarter note here. So you get the idea of that sound. Now, let's take this effect, let's go back out to the main chain, and let's select it and move it, which is the second knob. Let's move it before your preamp. This will give it a more prominent picking sound. I'm also going to turn off the noise gate because it tends to shut off your trail. So let's turn that off. Go back to the delay. So with your delay setting before your preamp, it's going to give you a much more prominent, louder delay sound because it's getting compressed by your distortion too. So this is how I set it for Nuno Betancourt's Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee. I would turn the gain down a little bit, but I also use this for the song I Ran by Flock of Seagulls. Get the idea? Let's go inside, enter, and I'm going to turn the feedback off. And go a little faster. This is Flight of the Wounded Bumblebee. It's actually faster than that, but you get the idea. Thanks for stopping by. I hope this teaches you something new and how to get some new tones and some new effects and some new ideas out of the Boss GT-1. Like the video, share, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks.